What's up, guys? I think a lot of people are on that space call, and so I totally understand that you'd want to be on there instead. It's really good. I got it on right now, listening. It's really good. Lots of good people on there, so I totally understand if a lot of people are on there. But otherwise, what's up, guys? Rough day, super rough day. I'm going to put my announcement real quick on Twitter. Real quick here. All right, here I go. All right, let's see who's coming on. Hi, Mark. Barry, Andrew, Rosie, Darren, Fabian, Akira, KYP. What's going on, guys? Good to see you all. What a day. What a day. For the Republic, what's up? Vance, rough day, says Eric. Yep. Hal will be fine. That's right. KYP, 10 toes down, ready to fight. Bob more finger day. I love it. What's up, Big O? You're early. Max, they've done this so many times. That's right. Today was a little bit different. We're going to talk about that. Yeah, I don't mean worse as for us. I don't mean worse for us, but it was different. Also, what's up, man? Yeah, I'm here. I could not go on. Like, I had to go on tonight. Jack Hamilton. All right, sir. Hey, man, I owe you a huge thank you. You made my time Sunday so awesome. Eric and I took advantage of the wings at Buffalo Wild Wings, and you blessed us like crazy. So thank you for that. Jaime, let's just clear this up once for all. Okay. Do you see any bald in this hair? Man, I've always had this. This is my widow's peak. I had that my whole life. But like, look at this. My grandpa had dark hair till he's 86. I ain't losing the hair. So I've cleared it up. We're good now. The one, no negative energy. That's right. Yeah, Busy's space call is excellent. You guys, if you don't want to just hear me and you want to hear a bunch of the great minds around this talking, it's going on. Ham's not on there, but William is. Busy, the Richard, JR, they're all talking. It's really good. Got the red aspirin tonight. Yeah, right. We got spanked. Barbara, what's up? Nan Sadik, David, be like Trump if they slander you, hit them hard. Well, we are going to hit them hard. That's for sure. Great interview last night. Thank you so much. That was an honor to do that. This did look desperate, Vince. I agree with you. Darren gave me more time for funds to settle. Yeah. Thank you again, Jack. I appreciate it. Croteau, did I see the cult list? I got to say, I was honored to be on it. The way I was, it wasn't, to me, I thought that was hilarious. I know some people were like, well, on Richard's call, he was like, I feel sorry for the people on this. I'm like, don't matter to me. I think it's hilarious. But it's kind of an honor, honestly, to be up with all those other great people. It's a convincing 2 paces, Rosie. You're funny. Watch Wolf of Wall Street to get even more mad. There you go. Hey, what's up, Nolia? Saber can't join space call. It comes up blank. Oh, that sucks. I'm sorry. I'm busy. We'll post it as a recording later. And I highly, if anybody at all did not get to listen to it, go to Busy Brand's Twitter profile later tonight or tomorrow morning and listen to the recording. It's really great conversation. They are fighting, and we got a lot of people fighting for us, feisty people, good people, lawyers, Wall Street insiders, all. Like, we have such an amazing team. I'm humbled that I honestly, I get to talk about stuff. I get to commentate, but these guys are the pros, and I'm honored just to be on the team. So, thank you, Radar. I appreciate you saying that. How increase the position? Dip was delicious. It is a good dip if you're accumulating for sure. Do I think the S3 will still affect it? Absolutely, I do. Yeah, I'm a super pumper. Saber, have more dry powder for tomorrow. Buy more funny. So many bashers never commented. Yeah, did you guys see that website is only 3 months old, registered 3 months old? It's ridiculous. It's so obvious that it was just a total setup. Pedro from Philly is excellent. I always love his stuff. He's convinced fully that this was a hit piece they'd already crafted for, been holding on for a few weeks, and they waited for the right day to jettison it. And today makes sense. We had a huge day yesterday. They were probably margin called today, and the market was getting absolutely clobbered today. So it was a good day for them to do it, and they picked a good time. But I also reeks of desperation. So we'll talk about that in a second. I'm you bummed out. Today got to me. I was so upset because, and I should have known better, but I let my emotions, I really thought that today we were going to keep going up. I did not anticipate an attack this big. I really didn't. I didn't think they had it left in them, but so it did. It got to me. I'm good now. I totally have processed everything. I'm in a much better place. But earlier today, I was just angry and depressed, and I was didn't last long, but I had to get through that. You're proud of me, Ryan? Thank you. Can I sum it up? Well, I can tell you some of the stuff they're talking about. A lot of it is just kind of behind the scenes, what they think is going on, why not to worry. A lot of stuff I'll talk about tonight, but it's still good to hear the different perspectives and where it's coming from and how they break it down. You'll be a witness to the education. Thank you, David. Ayinde, enjoyed dips today. There you go. Gretchen, you were listening to PB Soup. Oh my God, he is such a joke. Richie, love the discount more. I love it. Yeah, the website's BS. It wasn't just I don't think the hit piece had the effect, Croteau. It was they planned to launch this all-out short attack, and the piece is their cover. Because now they can say, oh, this short piece came out, this short report, and we were just acting on that. That's what they're doing. They're covering themselves with the piece. The piece itself, there's nobody reading it. So, we probably more of us read it than they did. But it's not getting out there, but it's a cover. That's what it is. My past videos on YouTube, Zach, if there's two places to look on my channel, there's videos, and I have not done a produced video in a while. It's not months old though; it's like a couple of weeks. But then there's lives. Click where it says live, and then you'll get the replays of all the lives. So I think the lotteries is fraudulent. No, I don't. It's not the same thing though. Do I think it's fraudulent? Yeah, they're stealing from people. It's a tax on poor people. But it's not as fraudulent because you're not as actively engaged. You're literally giving them their money, hoping for some. It's not like this. This is an investment. We should be able to invest in companies and expect a return based on doing good fundamental work, looking at what the companies are. It's not the lottery. We all have an understanding. You're probably not going to win. That's an understanding. It's gambling. It's pure gambling. The Wall Street's supposed to be investing, and it's not. It's gambling because of the crookery. Alphonse Buddy Fletcher, possibly a faithful article. That's what I saw. Hustle, it feels hopeless. Feel like it's not hopeless, and we'll talk about it. Hustle. Eric, wonder if today was our last stand. I do think it's possible. Dude, today got to me. Shoot a Shabar. There you go, Sakura. Yeah, Tora. What's up, Ace? Joe, Bob, glad to see you. Thank you. I know 4 million shares. I don't know if they're all shorted, but close to it. I think it ended up 4.4 million or something sold today or traded today. Over 1 million more than the other biggest day of the year. Actually, I think it was 4.5 million. Over 1 million more than the biggest day of the year so far. What does that tell you? Today was our biggest day of trading by over 1 million more. 25% more than the next biggest day of trading on the entire year. On the bloodiest day of the market so far this year. What does that tell you? That screams manipulation. It's so stinking obvious, and there's no way in hell that the short number is only 55%. I'm sorry. There's no way. They marked a lot of those trades as long. They're putting stuff at dark pools, whatever they're doing. There's no way they could knock us down as much as they did on only 55%. It's impossible. They were 78% the other day, and we didn't go. We barely went down at all. So this is just, it's complete manipulation, but it reeks of desperation. And I'm kind of sorry I didn't go on my other program today, so I can't pull up my screen. Maybe I can pull it up on my phone here. But I wanted to show you guys. I don't know if you guys saw what was posted today about the VW squeeze. Now, this obviously nothing is guaranteed here, but I just got to find it. It was posted, but it showed just what it looked like right before. I think it's Stock Alerts put it up. Who also got put on the? He was tier one. Tier one. How stupid is that? By the way, we closed after hours at. Oh, we didn't close at that, but we closed up. Okay, here it is. Nope, that's not it. Where is he? Posts the VW. Here it is. Here we go. All right, so this is VW. And you guys see how it dipped so far, like a major dip right before it ripped. And then whoop, up over 1,000. You see that huge dip right before? That could be where we're at. That it's very possible. This is very normal to get attacked right before a squeeze, especially when they know they're going to lose. And yeah, I think one way or the other, this is absolutely just a desperation attack. They were getting margin called. We were about to break them, and they popped it. Now, they knew they had this together. So they knew they had this last chance. They're trying to scare us out. I don't know if they can keep it going for a few days or not. I have no idea. That's what we're going to find out. But here's the good news. So let's go to the good news. I've heard 3 sources today. 3 sources, okay, that and all different, that Univest is still committed to being in this. And honestly, they're probably excited at a lower price to start from because they're going to make a lot more money. They're excited that at the very minimum, over 2 million more shares were shorted today. At the least, 2 million. That's at the absolute least. That's huge for popping this off. Okay, they're excited. The price is lower, all that. So they are committed. Ain't going nowhere. As far as the S3 is concerned, there's been all this talk that the S3 is going to be money raised through dilution, and the shorts have been using that to attack us, to create the stories in the story today that there's going to be a big dilution, which is why it's complete BS, first of all. So Ham put out a tweet today that said cancel the S3 to take away their story, basically. Now, he didn't put it that succinctly or clearly, so it freaked a lot of people out. Cancel the S3. What does that mean? Cancel the S3. That's not what he was saying. He was saying the point is that that's the only story they have to run on right now. And so if it was canceled, they'd have nothing. He wasn't saying it'd be like, he wasn't telling us that there's going to be 2 weeks until anything's bought. He wasn't, because then he said this quiet period thing too. That's not what he was saying. He was just saying that at the very earliest, if they ever did dilute even a little bit, it was 2 weeks away till they would raise that money. But the buying can already start. So Univest is here. Univest is already buying from what I hear. Why are they not pushing the gas? I have no idea. Maybe they knew something like this would come. They've killed multiple shorts before. Maybe that's what they knew. They were waiting for this to let the shorts show their biggest hand before rocketing it. I don't know. This is all speculation. What I do know is Univest doesn't lose. They don't lose, and we're on the side of Univest. I know that for sure. The other thing I know is that this is the most obvious manipulation that's ever happened on fngr. And we have lawyers going after it. Ham got the truck together just today, paid for it, going back to the SEC. Retail is going to come back out of this pissed, fiery, and ready to go. I've never heard Busy as fired up as he was today. I've never heard Richard as fired up as he was today. Ham was absolutely fired up. They stirred it up. We'd gotten a little happy and complacent. We thought we were cruising to the win, but they punched us in the mouth one more time. But we're still the bigger giant. We're still the beast here, and we're going to win this. But they pissed us off, and so we're going to come back stronger. I have no doubt about that whatsoever. The next thing is, I don't think this can keep up for much longer. You guys see how the market is getting. It's getting weak. If they were getting margin called today, you better believe they'll get margin called again soon. The banks are running out of money. Brokers are running out of money. JR sent me a story today from JR and Richard that last Friday, a decision was rendered in a case that's saying that the brokers are now to be fully compliant. Now, I don't think this decision is fully passed yet, but they're allowing it to be argued. So it's on its way to be argued, but they didn't shut it down. Okay, they're allowing it to be argued that the brokers now will be fully compliant for letting this happen. This is great news for us because before it could get passed on to the shorts, the brokers could continue to let it happen, and the brokers would just pay out and wouldn't be held liable. I guarantee you now, if this passes in this court case and it gets out there that the brokers, Fidelity, E-Trade, TD, Schwab, whoever, if they are now held liable for the corruption done on their watch, they will dry this up so fast because they hold all the money. They hold all the money, and they're not going to let that get messed with. Right now, they've been able to sail scot-free, and the only way to beat them or to get money from them is a short squeeze. But now this could change that because they would be legally liable, which means we could sue them, we could criminally prosecute them, you name it. All of a sudden, they're not going to want that. They're not going to want that. So they can't pass it on anymore. These are good things happening. And all this has been coming up today as a result of this fight. I've been learning all this. People sending me stuff. We're all talking again. We are fired up. We're ready to go. I don't think at all we have anything to worry about. This is after hours of thinking about this, because honestly, this was happening in the morning. It was clear we were already getting smoked. And so I've had literally about 8-9 hours to be thinking about this, talking to people, processing, listening to others talk about it. And I'm thoroughly convinced first of all, there's no way they can attack us like this again. I remember the last time I saw an attack like this. It was all the way back in January with GTII. And it's when GTII hit 298 and was about to break 3. And both William and I wasn't really known very well yet, but I was chatting with William on his YouTube. And both him and I agreed that if this breaks 350, they're dead, because you could tell by the way they were fighting it. And what happened? We got to 298, and then 1 million shares were sold in half an hour, knocked us down 70 cents. Never seen anything like it today, or then until today. This is the first time I've seen that again. This is so obvious, blatant. The way the volume went up, the way it went down, the price went down. Obvious, absolutely obvious. And what it tells me is we're right there. The difference though with GTII and Finger is at that point with GTII, we were waiting for 1-800 to be passed, or to get fulfilled, that deal to get closed, and it didn't. We were waiting on something, and we were just hoping it would happen, and the strength was building off that. We'd also just gotten the evidence from the DTCC on GTII, but GTII didn't have anything else lined up to make it blast. So once that momentum was taken out, it was gone. This is different. And it's taken us a long time to build back up in GTII. Finger is different. Finger, nothing's changed. Univest is still here. They're buying, and it is already going on. Nothing's not going to be able to knock down Finger in the same way. So Finger has the potential to truly bounce back hard. Also, 2 weeks, we have Finger's earnings. That is also going to create more pressure if it goes that long. I'm not even sure it's going to go that long. We might rebound fast here. We might be back up by the end of the week, $7-8. We really might. But what I'm saying is if they're able to prolong this a little bit, we still have a big day coming in Finger in 2 weeks. And that also, it's crazy. That's October 16th. That'll also be the first day our dividend shares will be tradable in GTII. So good things are still coming. So let's not let today discourage us. Instead, I want you to get angry. I want you to get angry and buckle down and get ready to fight even more, and know that we're going to win this. But not only are we going to win this, the stupidity of these guys thinking they could shake us out, they're going to be punished even more now, because they just made things so much worse for themselves. So, okay, that's my rant, about 10-minute rant. I'm going to try to catch up with you guys. I'm going to jump ahead. If I miss your comment, please repost. I'm going all the way to the bottom here, so I'm up to date. Okay, guys. Alert says everyone's pissed and fired up. Shorts did on their last leg. I agree. Nullius, Ace, do I think the criminals try to keep this going after the holidays? Oh, I think they will, but they're not going to be able to. I really don't believe so. I don't think they get out of October. And actually, after today, I'm even more convinced. TJ, David 30, Zach, what's the emergency broadcast that's coming out tomorrow? I'm not even worried about it. Zach, listen, I've been hearing that stuff for so long that this emergency broadcast going to do anything. At the very least, I think we see some. I don't think anything big is going to come of it, honestly. I don't. I think it's just there's a lot of hype around it, and just don't get caught up on these dates. If something happens, great. If not. But by the way, it was pretty crazy what happened. The House Speaker got outed today, so that was crazy. All right, you guys, I need to talk about the puts. What do you want me to say? Just you can bring up what you want me to say. I don't really know what it matters. Freedom Vet, government's doing a major EBS. Yeah, I don't. We'll see. Frank, hit pieces in shade thrown a community member's laughable research article. Oh, it's so terrible. But by the way, I'm a marketer and a copywriter. I could tell you guys that it was one of the worst written pieces published I've ever seen. It was totally a joke. Yeah, I forgot about the GTI shares. They're coming. Sold your finger and bought back at 460. Well, there you go. That's one way to do it. Thanks, alerts. Tom R. RAS market starts to dip and they start to get margin maintenance calls on long positions. I could really get this thing to pop, in my opinion. Your thoughts? What do you mean by the RAS market? I'm sorry. I don't quite follow the beginning of that. Jay, hey, Ace, glad you're doing a stream. Congrats on level 1 gangsta. I appreciate it, Jay. Yeah, 500 shares. Nice. Good price. Jasper dip before the rip. David hungry for more shares. Radar blind rage. Someone make sure I hit the right person. Nah, JR and I didn't even make tier 2. I'm sorry, Richard. I have a feeling you guys were left off because you're lawyers. They know you guys fight right back. But hey, JR, by the way, I really enjoyed your stream today. I'm sorry, Richard. I really enjoyed your stream today with JR. I think that's the most I've ever enjoyed a stream of your guys. It was fantastic. You guys were on it. Brazil shows shorts underestimate us. We are not newbie AMC apes anymore. That's right. Battle hardened. Agreed. We're not scared. All right, guys, because they made 6,000 puts. It doesn't matter. And all right, you guys, they could be lying through their teeth. We don't know that. Maybe they did put in puts because this is all. They're all in it together, and they knew there was going to be an attack today. Great, that's insider trading. They can get in trouble. Whatever, it's not going to hurt anything. So what? They made money off of it. It doesn't mean a thing. Busy, yo. You guys must have finished with your call right now. Awesome, man. I hope it was awesome. I listened until 9. That call was great. I'm going to finish it later, but you guys were killing it. So many good people talking. KYP, smash the like. Thank you. Chris, today felt like we were back in AMC. Chris, I disagree. We have so much more to look forward to with AMC. With AMC, whenever we got hit, and I know I was there for a year and a half, every time we got hit, all we could do is pray that something would build back up and get better again. We never had what we have in Finger. Finger doesn't have debt like AMC did. It doesn't have that big old thing hanging over their heads. Finger did not have constant dilution, hasn't had any. Finger has a huge investor coming in. I mean, there's big differences. Like, it's not the same at all. But you guys are still doing it? Awesome. I'll listen to that later. Jasper, not on margin here. Can't sell them back the same day. I know what that's like. Kal-El's not worried about the dip. I agree. Jack, Mr. Non-JR feared. Yeah, that's right. Renaissance, will the 10-15 dividend date help GTI? Oh, I think it definitely helps. I really do, because they're going to have a lot of pressure on them to find shares to deliver, and that's going to drive the brokers crazy. Key, what's up? Eric B, fight evil core. I love it. You guys seen Mr. Robot? You know what he's talking about. Great show. Sanders to stock by buying puts and calls on the money. Richie Rich, today didn't bother me, but you just gave me more confidence. I love it, Richie. Thank you. Perfect buy zone. Amen. You lost 30K today. You're buying more. Jay, it's a temporary loss. It's only on paper. It's temporary. You don't lose until you sell. So, but that sucks. I know. Trust me, I lost a lot of money today too, but it's not. It's temporary. It's all coming back. It's all coming back. Trust me. Ramon, why would Univest kick off the squeeze of hams to the companies who can't sell stock for 3 weeks? Ramon, because that's the S3 is not the only way Univest can buy. Univest can buy open market, okay, and that's how they've squeezed other stocks. But the S3 gave them permission from the SEC. They now are in a legal position to take on large shares, and nobody looks at them. Nobody worries about it. They're completely in a legal position now to go in big. And so it allows them to buy more. However, they don't have to wait, because the S3 is on standby, and finger only needs to operate as the S3 if they want to. They don't have to do it at any point. But if they do, what it gives them the ability to is it gives them ability to create more shares to sell behind the scenes to them, and that's to basically dilute a little bit. But they're not going to. And if they do, they're going to do it in a way that helps the stock go up because that's what Univest does. But we don't have to wait for it. That's the point. Michael, you don't think you could sleep tonight with what we know? You bought the dips 5 times. Wow. Deer, what are the latest short numbers? Short numbers were only 55% today in finger, which is insanity. And GTI was only 21%. There's no way in hell, guys. Those numbers are completely manipulated. That means that in this attack, this coordinated attack, which was so obvious, so blatantly obvious, they were marking some of those short numbers as long. And we know they do this. Goldman Sachs just got in trouble for this. We know they do this. They marked some of those shorts as long in order to avoid being looked at. Because if this came out today and it was 85% shorted, which I believe is probably close to that amount, somewhere between 75, 85%. If it came out like that, it's just another thing we can look at that says, oh yeah, look at that. But we already know. We already know. There's just no way they could get it down this far without it. How do we know how long Univest waited before making TOP explode? I don't know. I couldn't find the information on that. TOP was a little bit different situation. The only one we've found that, so there's similar situations as far as heavily shorted and popping them, but not everybody was as old and as established a company as Finger. So a lot of them had to do with IPO stuff too, or relatively new. GDC, on the other hand, they had an S3 in GDC back in 2021 in March. They filed an amended S3 this year on May 3rd. And as soon as that was filed, because the other S3 was already there, the amended S3 got filed. It was effective immediately, and they squeezed it the next day from $3 to $44. So there you go. What's up, Chrison? Joe Mama, your coworker heard you laugh today, asked what's up. I said, finger down 25%. He said, oh shit, he bought 200 shares on. I love that confidence. Jay, tell your wife. She'll have to listen, man, but I get it. I get it. We'll be back, says Doug, this week. I love it. Richard, my understanding is Univest can buy or rent shells at any time without further notice. There you go. So Richard says he's on it. What's the cost to borrow? I don't know that right now. Not legal. It says 55% is like 2.4 million. Yep, that would be correct. And I think it's higher. I think they shorted well over 3 million today. So Eric, that makes you wonder if the 65% numbers we get are always real. Well, Eric, I would say I think most of the time they are real, because if we only go down 5 cents, there's no reason for them to lie about it, really. But on a day like today, these are the kind of days that bring attention. I mean, think about it. The highest volume day of the year by over 25%. That's insanity. And we went down 30%. That's crazy. That just doesn't happen, especially in a stock where nothing changed about the business. All the news has been good, except for this short report that nobody reads from a company came out 3 months ago. This is just, it makes no sense. So these are the kind of days that bring attention. And these are the kind of days that piss off retail too. And they're going to hear about it. Bill, I will find it beyond wild that the price in Finger can be pressed down over 30%, 7% a day. I did it at 473. Thank you for being here. I was a tough day. Thank you, Bill. All right, you guys, if the S3 was approved yesterday, why didn't they attack it yesterday? I don't know. We don't know why they chose today, but they did choose today. I think maybe they wanted to see what happened on day one. Maybe that's what they were waiting for. So who knows? We don't know. But it was, I mean, it was, notice of effectiveness was, it was posted 6 a.m. yesterday. It was filed 4 p.m. on Friday. So as of 6 a.m. yesterday, the S3 was legally out there as effective. Brazil, did Ham say Finger should cancel S3 after the fake report? I already covered that, Brazil, but real quick, the reason Ham said cancel the S3 is he wasn't necessarily meaning it should be canceled, but he was making a point that the only story they have is that Finger's going to dilute. And they used that story in the hit piece that was put out today to tell everybody that it was going to go down to $1. That's what they said. It's going to be valued down at $1 because they're going to dilute it so much. So Ham's point was that if the S3 is canceled, they have nothing to short based off of. That's the point. Rom, who jumps out based on a report that sounds like written by Well, they didn't jump out based on that. I'm telling you guys, they did not jump out based on the report. The report means nothing except that it provided them cover for shorting. It gives them an excuse because now they can lie and say we did it based on the report, which is we all know is not true. Big JR's in the house. What's up, man? Dry powder load for tomorrow. I love it. Black Seal, also the dark pool position on fingers now crazy. 17 million. Well, I'm rounding up. 17 million. They created 94,000 short exempt shares today. Wow, that's wild, Black Seal. Did you just get that info? I was waiting for that to come out. That's great. Yeah, whole market was blood red today. KYP, they're trying to shake us out. Stay strong, fight like hell. Amen, KYP. Not going anywhere. I'm fired up as ever. Zach, rookie question. Apologies ahead of time. If you bought shares in a company a year ago, bought more today, does that mean your capital? No. What they'll do is that unless you sold, but if you still holding the shares you held or bought a year ago, those shares are now long and your taxes are significantly cheaper. So as long as you don't sell, your shares will remain long. It will not restart anything. Andrew, I think they knew the market was going to tank today, so they timed to short. Someone always knows ahead of time. It's very possible. Did you guys see the economic news today? It was terrible. There's actually, and this was not reported widely, but they've revised the last 3 years of economic data, and it's all worse. And inflation's higher, growth is shorter, and all the last 3 years have been revised. Joe, tomorrow will be an options monster. Calls likely be reset. Careful, it's potentially reset for major players. Possible. We'll see. Shorts use it as cover. Exactly. Today proves obvious fraud, manipulation, me desperate. Yeah. Amen to that. I mean, so listen, yesterday was wonderful, right? So green, so good, green, blue skies ahead. And then today happens. But I was trying to think today, if I'm Univest watching this and I have, all the money, I'm $160 billion investment firm. Like say that again, $160 billion. And I'm sitting there and I've already made my decision. I'm in finger. I've heard the short reports. I've seen the breakdown. I've seen manipulation. I'm in on this. And I have a plan because I've killed shorts many, many times. And yesterday it runs up, and it might not be all them. Maybe, it might have been a lot of that run up. I have heard they're starting to buy, but let's say it was just excitement based on the S3, other big whales starting to jump in, push it up yesterday. And then Univest still buying today, but they're still buying slow. They're not ready to push the gas yet. And they see this. Now, if I'm Univest and I see what happened today, I say, oh, mama, they really don't want this to run. We've hit gold here. I'm more interested than ever. I'm not scared away. That's dumb. They're not in here for just long-term investment. They're here for a squeeze. You better believe it. I know who they've been talking to. They're here for a squeeze. So that's number one. Number two, I'm almost insulted. Like, oh, you guys think you can beat us? I'm the big boy on the block, and I'm ready to take them out. So I see one or two things happening. Univest toys with them a little longer and allows the price to go low so they can accumulate more and allow those short shares to build up so the squeeze is even higher and pops off more. That's one thing I could see them doing. The other thing I could see them doing is say, we're done with this. We're killing you guys. And it turns around quick. So either way, I believe we are fully still on the side in control no matter what happened today. We have the biggest bully on the market on our side right now. Okay. Like that does this kind of thing, I should say at least. And that's a really good person to have on your side. So don't worry. I think this is a blip. I think mostly today was to get people to sell, to chase us out. Remember, I just watched the movie Dumb Money, and GameStop, when they took away the buy button, they scared so many people away because these were uneducated investors, these retail investors. They were not battle hardened like we were. In fact, if we were in that squeeze, if this was finger and we were the first ones, this was early 2021 and we didn't know jack crap, we hadn't been around the block before, we didn't have people like Ham teaching us stuff, what to expect, we would all sell too after today, I bet. Okay, so I'm not knocking anybody, But I'm saying the difference is huge. We've been here longer. We have more people that have been helping educate us. We know the real issue going on, not just that it's short interest and hedge funds. No, that it's actually like much more corrupt and deeper than that. And it takes more to fight them than just buying and holding. We know all that. And that's why we're going to win this. Because I guarantee you, they might have shook out a few poor people today. And God bless them. I hope they can buy in soon while it's low. But they didn't shake out most of us. I don't think they shook out 95, 99% of us. So they're in for a treat real soon. They're going to find out. They after around, now they're going to find out soon. Brazil show. What does this bear attack do to projected run up during squeeze 2000? Well, let's not jump to that. I mean, we're talking about probably 175 to 180 million shares have been shorted, and today they shorted another 2-3 million. So what does that add? Maybe it adds another $25 to a run. Maybe it adds 50. Maybe it adds 100. But it's not like it added 1,000 because there's a lot there. So, Bill Young, we have each other and so much support. We got this. I agree. David, I don't think we need a market revision until its costs are up. Yeah, there you go. Well, that's true. We all know, but they keep trying to lie to us and tell us it's better than it is. Bob, I'm all in on GTI, no more powder. But thought about selling, but thought better. Maybe that was a game. That's exactly right, Bob. That is the game. They want us to sell, make poor decisions. Look, I'm long on a lot of my GTI shares now. So there's no way I'm selling GTI because I know GTI is still going to rip. Is it tempting sometimes? Yeah, you want to get on the play that you think will move first. But it can hurt you in the long run to make a bad decision. So it's better just to do what you can where you're at. That's what I would say. You're holding on to two squeeze plays that could go anytime at this point. Joe Mama, they filed S3 at near $7 with a filing price slide above $5 at the time of their analysis. This is a Univest Grand Slam. Amen, Joe. Jay, how high would it squeeze if they short more and down to 1? I would buy. Oh, God, yeah. We'd all buy like crazy if it went down that low. I don't think there's any way they can get it that low. I really don't. But how high would it squeeze? Oh, Jay, it's a great question. I would imagine it would take them, at this point, 25 to 50 million shares to get it down that low. So there you go. The math would be nuts. Rosie, if I'm Univest, I don't necessarily squeeze tomorrow. I don't let shorts reach their target price. There you go. Yeah, you kind of toy with them. That's what I was saying. Maybe you toy with them for a bit. Henry, be a good time for that mmtlp settlement. That's right. Amen. Saber took profit on 3 squeezes. This crap angers me, but doesn't faze me. Good. You're battle hardened. I love it. Thomas took advantage, bought 200 more shares. No, 600 shares, might buy another 100 tomorrow. My biggest fear is dilution. Thomas, do not worry about dilution. Ham told us that he highly expects a something from the company to put our fears at ease very soon. That means to me, I expect a PR either tomorrow or Thursday. And the way Ham said it, he said if we don't hear from him, we'll never hear from him again. So I think he knows something. And yeah, I think we're going to hear something from the company that makes us know for sure there won't be a dilution. What's up, ESK? Joe Mama, be careful with stop losses. Yes, absolutely, Joe Mama. I've told people 100 times, and I'll say it again. Do not put stop losses in, please. And like he said, if you're at a price you can imagine, I can see or you're happy with, that's fine on the run up. Don't do it now. Because right now, first of all, what price are you going to be happy with? $5, $4? I mean, all it's going to do is shake you out, and it's also going to give them a target to short it down to. I don't think there's anything gained from stop losses right now, unless you're trading this stock up and down. But honestly, good luck with that. Yeah, I hear you, Bob. I've done it there. Yeah, they gave us more resolve. Exactly, Richard. They pissed us off. That's what they did. Daniel, right now we know what's going on. Accumulation. There you go. Jay, let Univest hold and buy in right before the quarterly report, bury it after. Yep. Well, that's 2 weeks. I hope it goes sooner than that, but we're still going to be easily in October at that point. So still could be really good. Blake, heavy GTI here and very light finger. Inversely positioned based off consensus, but with this massive tag today, I might continue adding. Blake, I'm like you, heavy GTI and I'm light finger just because that's how it turned out. I would accumulate GTI for almost a year and then finger only the last couple of months when I really didn't have much to put in. So I'm like you, totally get it. but I have a plan. And right now, when I do get extra, I'm putting it in finger. Steve says, agreed. We only have near 20 GTI, a couple thousand finger shares and calls. There you go. Wow. Phil, selling 20 shares of 3 million stock tomorrow, 3M stock tomorrow, and buying more finger. Awesome. David, today's move reminds me a little bit of mmtlp. They were driving the price down. A lot of us were buying. Yeah, the difference is finger has nothing coming up that would give them an excuse. First of all, they're NASDAQ. So I don't see FINRA doing U3 like that's. And the other thing is that finger isn't changing to a private company, anything like that. So there's nothing they could act on with finger. So it might be trading the same as mmtlp right before, but at the same time, it's not. They're not going to be able to do to finger what they did to mmtlp. Also, with Congress's pressure right now coming on mmtlp, there's no way they pull something like that again. 20,000 GTI. Oh, okay. I was wondering. That's funny. I was like, 20 GTI, good job. It's like $20. Richard says, how about a 2 million share buy in pre-market? That would be awesome. Yeah, that'd be amazing. WV, what's up? Do I still feel confident GTI will run before Thanksgiving? I'm not saying. WV, I think October is our month. I do. I really do. We have earnings coming for finger. Univest is buying now. Univest usually moves fast in the past. I don't see them letting this go on for long. And then GTI shares are released. The dividend shares are released this month, which is going to cause a lot of pressure on the market makers and the brokers. Is it possible it goes past? It always is possible. We always have to prepare for the worst and hope for the best. But October is very lined up for us. It really is. Bought more finger today. Nice, Ralph. Robert bought in today. See, you guys, this is why we're going to win. Nobody's scared. Everybody's taking advantage. You guys are seasoned traders now. It's great. Winners never quit, quitters never win. I like that. Yeah, they can see your stop losses. That's right. George, people beware of YouTubers jumping in on finger now. YouTubers jumping in on finger? Like me, the number one tier? Were you jealous? Were you jealous you didn't make the tier? Richard says, by the way, John Bird agreed to testify an mmtlp case against Fidelity. That's awesome. On your case, that's amazing. 2 million pre-market would be amazing. Ramon, with the numbers you've gotten from the double squeeze, you really think people will hold GTI for as long as finger when they see life-changing money at the low hundreds? I've considered that, Ramon. I really have. I don't think a lot of people will. Absolutely not. But I also think there's a lot of people who have a lot more in GTI than finger, and GTI is where they'll make their real money. And so I think also the way Hams taught us, selling early will happen, but I also know people are going to save a bunch of their shares, anywhere from 25 to 50% of their shares, to ride it high, and that is going to spike the price. So I'm not too worried about it. But yes, I think you do have a good point, and you're right about it. Lexi, the only thing they can do to stop finger is have the SEC declare Adam Aaron the news. I'd be out tomorrow. That's funny. I like it. Oh, I see you, David. Yeah, I get you. Yeah, that's what it reminded me. I totally agree. Jay, I agree. West should be involved with the report, but lawyers should attack. Yeah, I mean, I agree. Romdog, my nephew picked up 104. Nice. Andy, the longer they drag this out, the bigger our payday. Amen to that. CJ Yukon, when finger runs, I'm dropping huge coin GTI. Can't wait to punish them for BS. I'm jacked. Use your HSA to buy more. Nice. Dip it for the rip. Love it. Hey, Donna. Saber, dude, so many fly-by-night YouTube grifters now. Are there more people jumping out on finger and GTI? I haven't even been watching. Bob, you're on the toilet watching mmtlp tank for 12 to 290. Oh, that sucks. Fozman, Ace, we're in the same situation, finger and GTI. 900 finger, over 18,000 GTI. Wow. I'm more than half my GTI. Wow. Good for you. TD showing finger earnings 10-12. Oh, okay. So before the weekend. Well, that's nice. Everything's popping in October, says Daniel. I hope so. I believe it's very likely. Bill, do I think stocks are trending on Twitter get targeted that day? It's possible. See, I think AMC is an outlier at this point. I just not that it doesn't happen sometimes to other stocks, but AMC, you got to remember, First of all, AMC is the most manipulated, corrupted stock of all time. It got so big that they cut deals. Adam Aaron cut deals. Adam Aaron's now the highest paid CEO of most companies, or of some form of company. I can't remember what it was. He's making like multi-millions a month. So my point is that Adam Aaron cut some deals. He gave shorts an out. That's rare. Other CEOs make dumb decisions and stuff, but Adam Aaron knew what he was doing. There's just no other excuse for ape. There's none. So first of all, you have that. Then you also have the biggest. That at the one point, I think AMC was the biggest shorted stock of all time, and honestly could have, if not collapsed the market, at the very least, collapse Citadel. And if it was going to collapse Citadel, that's going to cause all kinds of issues across the board, pensions, hedge funds, you name it. And so it became too big to fail. And they cut deals because of it, everything. And now AMC's become their whipping boy. I think they use it off and on to just keep making money because so many retail people are still in there. I mean, if you undo the reverse split, AMC is basically trading at like 75 cents right now. That's insane compared to where I sold it at, which I sold it at Ape and AMC combined. It was over 20. It was right around 20, 22 bucks, somewhere in there. And I was down at that point. And I think now it's 78 cents. So AMC is not the same thing. We got to stop making that comparison. It's just not the same thing. It was so much bigger and so much more corrupt. And also the team on AMC was not playing for its people. Also, you're talking about 3 to 4 million shareholders in AMC versus maybe 60,000 here, maybe 100,000. So it's just so much different. Bill, because of mmtlp, I'm used to this manipulation BS. Your whole account's red so bad waiting for this point. It's either big or lose it all. Hey, you know what? It's hard. I'm in the same place with all my savings, you could say, investments, money. It's all in. And I'm in the same place. I'm all in because to me, this is the kind of opportunity, like we're doing something and we're going to change our lives, but it's going to be a fight. But I believe in it, and I've done my research. I've lived through AMC. I've lived through what it's like to be hurt and betrayed and lost. And now I know the difference. And I've spotted a winner. Finger and GTI are winners, and we're not going to lose. And this community is a bunch of winners too. That's the truth. We're not just buying and holding. We're learning. We're growing in that knowledge. We're helping send that truck, where people are putting together legal cases. All this stuff's happening. It's just much different. Frank, do I think Univest, who's aligned with Finger, forces a run if Finger cannot use ES3 to gain funding? I do, yeah, absolutely. Oh, yeah. Frank, I think you're right. I think that makes a lot of sense. S3 is filed, so Finger could benefit from squeeze. So I do think that's that's at least a really good guess. I don't know if that's for certain, but it makes sense. BB Vision bought more Finger this morning. Matt, I didn't get them when they dipped below 5. We'll buy more this week. Nice. Saber, lots of them commenting on Finger now. No history. It's just dumb. Jay, shorts are making a deck of playing cards. I'm a face card. I know. I was honored. It's kind of fun. I find it cool to be a face card. I was thinking about printing it out and put it on my wall, the whole chart. What's up, Edward? Ace of Diamonds. That'd be cool. Lou Bones, what's good? Ace, what a shopping day. I want to be Ace of Spades, Tyler, because that's just the coolest card. By the dip. Bob, I sold AMC for mmtlp. Now I only have GTI and Finger. I'm all in. Good for you, man. Goodwill, both Finger and GTI are behaving as predicted. So Goodwill still calling GTI Friday. So it's a week from this Friday, guys. Not far. We are seasoned. Amen, George. ESK, they definitely gave us more resolve today. Reminds me of what's happening with people's reactions to the attacks on Trump. Yeah, there you go. They double down and you get stronger. That's a good – I like that comparison. What's up, Roger? Yancey, Finger and GTI will change our lives. I agree. Zechariah, for those that followed one into RNVA, once Finger and GTI blow, do you think some of these other plays? I do think some go just because of the buying pressure. However, for me, there's a lot of stocks out there that people are going to be throwing out, especially once these run. They are going to be throwing them out like crazy because they all want you to get into their play. So you're going to have to be very wise and make good decisions because you do not want to get in a play where you're trapped again. This is freedom. Once you hit these, it's freedom. And now you get to look at every play as a possible, I make 25%, but you just made a crap ton on 25%. You make 50%, you're huge. You double your money, it's huge. You do not want to play squeezes anymore after this because you should be in a much better position to trade at a smarter place. So make sure you're getting in with good companies that are fighting, not companies that are just a possibility, because there's no guarantee everybody's going to jump behind them. And you just don't want to get stuck again. So just be smart, guys, after this. Be smart. I will talk if I'm hearing something. I will let you know if I decide to play something. I will, but I'm definitely going to be very careful about where I put my money after this. Bill, you've learned so much from this community. You're having fun again. Oh, you're right. This is AMC. Bill, I'm so glad you're having fun again. That's awesome. This community is amazing. I love this community. I love getting on these lives. I love talking to you guys. I love hearing from you guys on Twitter. It's just been special. It really has. And I just don't see any way this community loses. We're a bunch of winners, but we're not a bunch of winners that have had it easy. We're a bunch of winners because we haven't quit. And you're seeing right here the cream of the crop of people who've been beaten down, and that cream just got pulled off and stayed, and the rest of it went away. You know, people quit, they lost, they got out of the market forever, they gave up, they got, black-pilled, hopeless. This community is a bunch of people who got back together and said, screw it, we're going back in and we're going to do it better this time. And that's how you succeed in life. Daniel said on Space that tomorrow they'll destroy shorts like Sean. I love Borders. I love his tenacity. I love his mouth sometimes, most of the time. But, he said stuff like that before and it didn't happen that day. So take it with a grain of salt, but just know that that's him being fired up, and maybe he's got some investors behind him and they're going to go after it, but it does not mean Univest is. So we'll see what happens. But I love that he's saying it. Andy, 61, no retirement, hold a small GTI position for you. It's bigger, go home. Totally get it, Andy. And God bless you. I'm so sorry. Our country, economy, whatever it was, failed you so much that you're 61 with no retirement. That sucks. But you're not alone, especially these days. It's been rough. I hope you get a monster return. Brian took advantage. Good. First Forbes, now tier 1. That's right, CJ. I forgot I had that Forbes call out earlier. Edward, you learned to hold for the squeeze. Awesome. What's up, Vinman? Good to see you. Goodwill, you think Vocal's going to be a high margin turnaround? I hope so. I know people still in Vocal that are way down from earlier this year. I hope it gets that. I really do. I just don't trust Frommer. I just don't. Jasper, agree we don't need to be degenerates. That's one way to put it. Sean added more. I love it. Roger, you're a little ignorant on GTI. I can't really articulate why it's undervalued. What is the reason for supporting GTI? What value does the company have to offer? Roger, it's a great question. As far as I know, nobody's in on GTI on the fundamentals. So that should answer your question first right there. Secondly, GTI, and I mean this in the best way possible, it's like a cockroach. You can't kill it. It's been around for 40 years. They consistently find ways to be profitable, to move ahead. The Reichman who built the company is a genius, but he didn't build a company that needed anything to produce, didn't need to produce anything. He built a company as a shell company for other companies to get listed on wherever, NASDAQ, OTC, whatever, to get publicly listed. And it makes it easier for them. And as a result, GTI profits from those deals. And so sometimes they've gone years without deals, and then they land a bunch of deals at once. So the point, though, is that it's not a kind of company you get in for fundamentals. However, GTII, being very smart, when they got their debenture note and started getting shorted by the toxic lenders, they paid it back quickly, and they trapped them. They trapped those shorts, and then they held on for dear life and started doing everything they could to break them. That includes releasing or trying to release many warrants that are not warrants, dividends that continually were not approved by the SEC. And then they released warrants, which worked, squeezed the stock up to $9 and almost broke the shorts. And from then on, they got information from the DTCC that they were being highly shorted by the prime broker, by this group of crooks, the Kramers that started it all, and having them all trapped. Now what they've done is they've used the money they raised from the warrants to hire a lawyer, and now they're going after him in what I think will end up being one of the biggest cases breaking up naked short selling in American history. On top of that, they released another dividend to gin up that pressure on the shorts to break them, because they learned from Overstock and Patrick Byrne that's how they broke them. So you have this company as a little company, no overhead, so they can't go bankrupt. They are, that's why, I mean, it's like the cockroach thing. You can't kill them. So there's no way the shorts get out of this. So GTII, because of this, became, for a long time, what Ham would call the number one short squeeze setup of his career, because he's been doing this for almost 25 years. He'd never seen a short setup so shorts so trapped with so many naked shorts already built up, and they can't get out. They can't get out. So it's an inevitable short squeeze. Meanwhile, the company is also fighting nonstop. So GTII at this moment, because they have sold some shares this year, so they diluted a little bit, but most of those diluted shares are restricted. So as far as we know, the free float in GTII that's official is probably about 75 million that can be traded. However, it's been naked shorted so far. This is only what's been counted, to the tune of 450 million. So you're looking at a stock that has massive short interest in it, and it is going to be a nuclear bomb when it goes off. So there you go. That's why everybody's in GTII. No squeezes after this. Post it on your screen. I like it. Northwest, biggest squeeze of the year takes place on October 8th. October 8th. What's the 8th? What am I missing, Northwest? Dan A. A's called Fidelity today. Long story short, Fidelity will not let you trade 4,000 restricted shares once they're not restricted. Agent said they can't afford to buy shares. What? That's crazy. Well, Dan, we're going to have to all, that's just not okay. So we're going to have to figure out that there's going to be something that's going to have to come out of that. Steven, what's up? Real swing. I just saw a sign in the MLB game, finger number 34. Maybe finger will hit 34. I hope that's just the beginning of what it hits, but I love it. How much am I looking to jump an extra? I don't know. Depends on what I make. Andy, 61 here. All your retirements and figure. Wow. Zachariah, agree. No more squeeze plays after the one last ham lunch meat special. There you go. Yeah, he wants to save a cancer company. You have a dark, wicked sense of humor. Big whales are pissed off, said Dana Boer. Oh, I like it. Okay, I like hearing that. Zach, follow up to XRP question. What are your feelings on Ripple RPO? I don't know. I honestly haven't been following it enough, Zach. I'm sorry. I've been so laser focused lately on Finger and GTII. So Goodwill, yeah. I mean, he just said very quickly, it's undervalued because size of its historical volatility to upside. Exactly. Roger, thanks for the explanation. The short these just didn't understand. Oh, okay. Well, there you go. Dustin, Iraq's supposed to be joining WTO tomorrow. Okay. Everyone's waiting for possible announcement and reevaluation of currency. I mean, that would be awesome if the dinar goes up tomorrow. I know so many people have a lot of it. So, Boris fired up. I'll have to listen to that later. Roger, you need a little more data to inform coworkers. Oh, they're looking to get out of AMC. Well, good for them. Goodwill, forget Ham, William, et cetera, for time being. Look at the spikes on the 5-year that came from the hard deck we're bubbling at. See, I like that, Goodwill. I like it, and I like that there's multiple factors that are pointing to something big. So we have Ham and William explain the story to us on one side, and that's awesome. And then we have like you giving us technical stuff that's also pointing to it. So that's great. If it's all pointing to the same place, I'm very happy about it. Oh, I'm wearing it. Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay. Niners Cowboys Sunday night. It's going to be big. Yeah, thanks Northwest for pulling me back. See, I was really in the zone tonight of the the passion of what happened today. But you've reminded me there's also more to life again. So I'm very excited about the Niners Cowboys game. Everyone to find out's word on the street. I like it, Bob. That's awesome. Jack, AMC and mmtlp scares are coming in handy. Good times are in sight. Guys, I really do think we're finally going to win. I really do. Bill, what happens first? Niners Super Bowl, fingr 50, ask for a friend. I think fingr 50 happens first. Niners Super Bowl won't be till February, but it will be the Niners. No injuries. You guys mark my words this year. Niners are a good bet. I've not seen a team beat other teams this easily since the 90s. Well, that's not true. My Niners team hasn't done it since the 90s. The last time I saw teams do this, they were dominant teams like the Patriots, like the 04 Patriots or the 08 Patriots. We are just smashing teams. It's not even hard. We haven't even played a great game yet. We're destroying them. That's the sign of a great team. So barring injuries, we're going to be hosting the trophy this year. Dan, Ace Fidelity said you have to transfer your 4,000 restricted shares. Dude, I have no idea, Dan. That's crazy. I can't imagine Fidelity not being able to afford that. I'm going to call for myself tomorrow too. I would recommend everybody calls about their Fidelity restricted shares, but I think, and this is where I don't know if Not Legal is still on here, Richard's still on here, but we need a lawyer to look at that, because I think if they're holding that, they probably have a legal obligation to pay us for because they accepted the dividend. They allowed us to have those shares in the first place. So how do you buy dinar? You can find a currency exchange. Moody, what's up, Ace? I'm a pumper. That's right. Eric says, love hearing the whales of piss. Amen. Don Giovanni, this is Jim Cramer's playbook from when he was a hedge fund manager. Lie, pay to print, and save your hedge fund. Isn't it crazy that Cramer's like this big guy now on TV? He's always wrong, by the way, but also that he's a crook. This is crazy. I guess it's not crazy. This is America, actually. Cowboys, how dare you, Robert? Thomas, you got whooped today, but like I always say, tomorrow's a new day. Oh, man. I know. It's a new day. Jay, why is no one talking about Upstream? I thought our 8 and whole WSS listing on Upstream is a Chinese platform where you can only sell. Listing. So, Jay, that was GTI's plan way back last year, November, December, January, and that the plan was tied to them signing that deal with 1-800 Law Firm. And once they signed that deal, they were going to do a spinoff dividend on Upstream. As far as I know, it all fell through, and we know 1-800 Law Firm didn't happen, so that would make sense why that other thing didn't happen. But I also wonder if when we didn't get on, GNS has since gotten on, and so did CRTD, which is now Vocal, and neither of them did anything. And that makes me wonder if maybe that whole theory just wasn't going to work. And maybe GTI realized that and backed out. I don't know, but I haven't heard about it in a long time. CJ, you've got 4-0 in our little league, and I've got Purdy and Dallas. Get out of here, CJ. You're 4-0, man. I can't believe it. I should have been 4-0. I've had 2 monster wins, 1 close loss, and then I got mammered this week. I got destroyed. Bob, it took Fidelity a long time to fill your very small GTI. Wow. I think GTI is starting to put major pressure on them, guys, because I have heard this issue with GTI shares now for 2 weeks. Multiple people not being able to get their orders filled. Sunday night's going to be good, Richie. Yeah, CJ says that's illegal, Fidelity. I agree. I think that sounds like it too. Joe, you give everyone's best shot, 2-2 league in points. Man, it's getting wild in that league. We're 4 weeks in, and it's starting to see there's some good teams. Northwest, you're fully with you on the feeling about today. Makes me sick. Took some Pepto-Bismol. Feel better now. Boys by 6. Oh, man. You guys aren't going to win that game. Sorry to tell you that. Listen, your offense is just not good. And we are not going to give you guys pick sixes. That's how you've been scoring against these other teams and running up the score. That ain't happening against us. So, in our defense, you guys haven't played a good defense like us yet. So, it's I have a feeling you guys are going to get walloped. I'm sorry, because we haven't even played our best yet either. Listen, I think the Niners are going to win, and I think it's going to be 6-10. I really do. Two girl dad for the win. There you go. Goodwill. Remember West Christian reps GTI. That's right. West Christian is a Tom Brady of Wall Street. Fraud litigation. Tom Brady would never play for the Texans. Goodwill. That's my favorite analogy in a while. I appreciate that. CBay, when do you think Univest will jump in? What do you think they're waiting for? They're already buying. So I have no idea why they're waiting, but they have their reasons and they're smarter than we are on this stuff. So just trust them. I mean, you can trust their history. I know we don't know them, so you can't trust them, but you can trust the history. And the history says Univest gets involved, a squeeze happens. Roger, TD Ameritrade said I could trade the GTI shares once they're unrestricted. They're moving your account. So TD's fine. Okay. You bought 5,000 GTI in Fidelity today. Frank, did you have any issues? Seymour, so what's going on with the dividend? Nothing. We're just waiting for it to become unrestricted. Joe Mama Fun League, appreciate running it. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Let's go Niners. That's right. I like it. Deborah, what's happening with the dividend? We're just waiting. We're just waiting. The restriction will be lifted next couple weeks. I didn't hear any news about XRP. The last news I heard was it was going to run to 50 on Friday, and then it went down 2 cents. So there you go. It went down from 54 to 52 cents. Best running back ever in Niners history. Ooh, that's tough. Gore put up the most yards. We've had some good ones. Garrison Hurst, Gore, what's his face in the 80s? Roger Craig. Who did we win the Super Bowl with in 95? He was really good too. Ricky Waters. I don't know, man. Best running back ever. That's tough. That's tough. GTI shares in Wells Fargo, really? Did you get the dividend? You had to be in April to get it. Mumu didn't fill orders yesterday. Wow. Jim says Ricky Waters. The only thing is Ricky Waters wasn't truly a Niners quarterback. He just played for us for a couple years. He was more a Seahawks quarterback. Cowboys win. Am I going to eat crow? No. Well, okay, Richie, I'll tell you right now exactly what I'm going to do. If you guys knock out Brock Purdy, I'm going to make excuses. If you guys knock out McCaffrey, I'm going to make excuses. But other than that, I don't think anybody else matters enough to our team that we would lose based on one injury. So if we lose and no injuries have occurred, then I would say, okay, I underestimated you guys. You guys have a great defense. Well done. That's what I'll say. And then we'll beat you in the playoffs like we do every year. But I'll tell you guys that you guys right now are the better team if you beat us without injuries. But injuries are always an excuse, and they're a legitimate excuse. So, like you guys had the best defense in the league, and now Diggs is hurt, and I don't think you have the best defense anymore. That's an excuse. No issues buying GTI today. You have had orders or your limit orders higher than bid not filling. Okay. Rum Dog, sounds like restriction will not be lifted automatically. I don't know how that works. I did hear somebody say that, but I don't think that's true. Craig Waters Gore got all the jerseys, but CMC. Well, CMC is the best, I think, pure back we've ever had, but he's not the best Niners running back yet. Let's see him if he wins a Super Bowl. Go back like Grease Lightning. Your votes for what's his face? Roger Craig. SEC appeal got denied today for XRP being exterior. Oh, wow. Well, that's good. Goodwill. Dexter Carter. Tom Rathman was great. Tom Rathman was really great. Rumdog TD told you restriction would be automatically lifted. Yeah, I think it's going to be automatic. I really do. OJ was a Niner? What? I don't remember that. Walter Payton, best running back ever. I mean, it's hard to argue. I would say it's Barry Sanders, but it's just a matter of preference. Joe Mama, Cowboys got exposed by the Cardinals. I know. So if the Cowboys beat the Niners, I have to say they're better. But there's just right now that Cardinals is a big old stain on your face. Northwest, I hear there'll be an emergency management system. I know there's a lot of people saying that's going to happen tomorrow. We'll see. Richard's back. He says Frank Gore or Roger Craig. I would agree with you. And I would say Roger Craig has to be it because he won all those Super Bowls with the team. Frank Gore, though, he's our best runner back as far as mostly a Niner that set records because I think he's fifth all time in rushing yards. And I love Frank Gore. He was so good for us, but he was never like a star that changed the team or anything like that. He was just a really solid back. I think Craig was a little more special, but Eric Dickerson was amazing, Richard. I knew you were going to say that too, being a Rams fan. He still has a record, although Adrian Peterson should have got it. They just need to rush him one or two more times. Richard, hey, why I got you here. Should the dividend be unrestricted automatically for GTII? I don't know the answer to this, so I figured you would know as a lawyer. Super Bowl bust, baby. David, injuries suck. That's right. Bob, XRP1. So that's really good for XRP. We'll see what it does for the price. Roger, Rumdog has Fidelity. Yeah, it depends on your area. There you go, Joe Mama. CJ Yukon, even your Giants beat the Cards. There you go. That's all you need to know. Mexican Jets have Taylor Swift. Who the Niners have? Well, Jets don't have Taylor Swift. Chiefs have Taylor Swift. It's Kelsey, old Pfizer boy. Pfizer, shoot me up with vaccine boosters boy. I'm always like, it's great he's dating Taylor Swift. I'm kind of afraid he's going to catch a touchdown and die of a heart attack after all those vaccines he's getting, but we'll see. Frank Gore is great. He was. I love Frank Gore. He was so fun to root for. Dan, AC can trade your common GTI shares on Fidelity, but I can't trade restricted shares because those shares are volatile and expensive to buy for your account. Yeah, that doesn't make sense though, Dan. I mean, first of all, once they're unrestricted, you should get your dividend no matter what. Fidelity should owe that to you no matter what, because they gave you the shares in the first place. So, okay, thanks, Richard. And Richard, I have one other question for you. Would Fidelity be legally liable for his restricted shares, or can they tell him that they're too expensive? What Dan's saying. Do you think does that sound right to you? I take off my hat. Why, Gretchen? Are you checking for hair? I got hair, guys. It's there. Speaking of Cowboys, Smith was Smith was the best Cowboy running back for sure. Northwest, Richard Sherman is a Niners homer on Undisputed. I know. I love it because Richard Sherman was like my mortal enemy on the Seahawks. I hated him. And then he came to the Niners. He was great for us. And he must have loved playing for Shanahan because all of a sudden he's like a huge Niners fan. And he did not stay loyal to the Seahawks, even though he played for them much longer. So just tells you, man, we're a good organization. Frank Gore, the celebrity boxer. Aaron, what's up, man? Good to see you. Yeah, so Dave, or Dan, sorry. Richard says it doesn't sound like that's right about Fidelity. So I feel like that should not be okay. They should have to owe you your shares because they sold you the shares that the dividend was attached to, which means that they should be liable for them. I like Kevin McCarthy. Do you? I do not like Kevin McCarthy. Now you're told by TD you don't have to do anything. Dickerson, Falk, Bettis, and Jackson are great. Oh, those are all great. Yeah, you guys had some monster running backs. You really did. Bettis wasn't around, though, was he? Oh, yeah, he was around first. Donald Trump's willing to serve his house figure. I just can't see it happening, but that would be crazy. Quantum restricted shares are just GTI common shares, right? That's right. Exactly. You're exactly right, Quantum. Northwest, his face lights up when he speaks at college. Yep, man, I'm telling you, Shanahan, best coach in the league now, especially now that Belichick has clearly lost it. Bill, Trey Lance was a stock. Would you buy or sell long term? I'm going to trust my team that they sold at the right time, and I'm going to agree with that assessment. Joe, you hated Sherman. I was like, man, when he came over, he didn't suck in your opinion like he did. No, man, he was awesome. He, in fact, the year we went to the Super Bowl, his coverage statistics had him as the best cornerback in the league that year. So Sherman was great for us. Ham is very wrong about my bald head. He's correct. He's just having fun. He's trying to get me to get rid of the hat. But listen, both mine and his teams are undefeated, even though his team plays JV football. My team plays varsity. But that's okay. It's cute to like college football. But anyways, my team is the best team in the NFL. And so that's why this hat is not leaving me. Goodwill, GTI is about the May 24th point in the finger trend when it was 133. That said, I think we'll see another bump in GTI followed by a bigger dip. So, Goodwill, when you're saying that, I mean, are you talking about the October 13th that you keep saying is going to be the big run? Or are you talking about something else? Jay, another thing to look out for is if you're holding an IRA with Fidelity. They've been taking hard to borrow stocks in IRA accounts. Have turned the account to margin and lend a share. Oh, well, that's nasty. Simon, what's up? Bill, did I watch the Niners Bengals Super Bowl? Dude, I was 5 years old. I don't think I watched it. Best scored to 4 TDs and had 1 year on the set. I remember that. That was his final year. Do I think Kaepernick will get a chance at the Jets? No. Kaepernick begged the Jets, basically begged. He sent a letter to him saying, I would be proud to lead your practice squad. So even Kaepernick's not trying to get a job anymore, like a real job in the NFL. He knows. He hasn't been in the league in 7 years. There's no way he's good anymore. And he wasn't good when he left. I mean, I know as a Niners fan, I wasn't. If he was playing like Tom Brady or, if he was playing MVP caliber football and he knelt, I would have made some excuses for him. I'm not going to lie. I am that kind of sports fan. And most of you are too, if you're honest with yourselves. But he sucked. And so it was like, oh, you're just trying to get attention now. And anyways, I was glad when he left. A, because the attention thing was dumb. But B, because he also wasn't good anymore. So, yeah, Kaepernick's done. Sherman said, hold, they won't throw the flag all the time. Respect. Yeah, well, that's who taught him that was Pete Carroll, who's known for cheating and winning. He finds ways to do it. So who's a QB I was a massive fan of that wasn't a Niner? I liked Big Ben on the Steelers, especially the first couple years. I'm a big Mahomes fan. I think Mahomes is awesome. He plays the game the right way. He's super exciting. I was a big Aaron Rodgers guy. I love Aaron Rodgers. If you want to go old school, Cunningham, Randall Cunningham, really liked. Yeah, there's a few. Marino. I love Marino. Yep. Goodwill, Thursday, 10-12, afternoon around 3:30. I believe brokers will start front-running each other going into GTI Friday. They can't just not deliver shares, especially with Wes watching. So that's a good point, Goodwill. I hadn't thought about it like that. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I think it's a great thesis. We'll see if it plays out. So, I mean, you bought 140 shares of fngr at 5 today. Wish you had more money. Oh, man, I wish I had enough to buy 140. So did I like Big Ben because he was No, I tell you why I like Big Ben. I liked him because he took Miami of Ohio to an undefeated record, and I always like when a quarterback can do something with a school that usually doesn't do anything. So that was number one. Number two, the Niners were terrible when Ben came into the league, and so I was just watching football just to watch football because my team was so bad. And when he came in as a rookie, he went on that 14-0 streak, and it was just fascinating to watch a rookie that could not lose. And I know they lost in the playoffs, but then he won the next year, and that team was just super fun. And Ben played hard. He was big, I know he did all that stupid stuff on the side that got him in a bunch of trouble. But that wasn't the first couple of years. And anyways, I really liked how he played. Larry Sonka could play with the play nose. Yeah. Elway was great. Yeah. Elway's a great player. You know how I hated? Well, I hated him the first 2/3 of his career, and I loved him the last third was Favre. And the reason I hated Favre is because he always beat us. Always. He owned the Niners, and it was miserable playing him. I hated him for it. Always win MVPs, won a Super Bowl, went to another one. And but then the later years, it became kind of fun to root for Favre when he was just the old man that was still a gunslinger. And that last Viking season was super fun. Roger, should we reach out to Wes if Fidelity's playing games at GTI Division? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you should somehow maybe file a report. I don't know how he accepts information about it, but yes, I would maybe try calling Fidelity again and record the conversation. Mexican Ace, be honest, are you not worried brokers are working together to deny us a win? Any ideas on how they'll do it? Mexican, that's a great question. Do I worry the brokers are working together? Worry is not the right word. Do I think they're working together or they're all trying to beat us somehow? Yes, I do. Am I worried they'll pull it off? No, I'm not. I really don't worry about that. I don't think it's possible. I think we have a best setup possible. We have the right people on our side. The SEC is in a bad place right now to allow this stuff to happen because Congress is breathing down their neck, thanks in part to mmtlp. They already messed up big last year. The market is cratering right now. This is when the players in the market lose, whether it's brokers, hedge funds, whatever. And I just see everything lined up for us. I really do. It doesn't mean they're not going to try. I mean, look at today. Obviously, they're going to try. But am I worried? No, I'm not worried. But that's, you could say that the reason, because I'm not worried, that's why I got affected today, because it surprised me so much. So maybe me being not being worried is a bad thing. But I personally, I've poured over this thing so many times from so many different angles. I have looked at history of trading. I've been in this, guys, doing this now for a year. And then if you count my AMC time when I was also learning there, a year, 2.5 years where I've been studying this stuff, growing in my knowledge of how the markets work, what causes a short squeeze, what doesn't, how people win, how they don't. And everything, and I mean this, everything is lined up for GTI and Finger to win. Everything. There is no reason we shouldn't win. Literally none. Like there's 2 ways we lose. Okay. That's if they go bankrupt, which won't happen to either. Finger's rising, doing the best. It hasn't even started its amazing business model, which has already got contracts in place. And GTII is, like I've already said on this live, it's a cockroach you can't kill because they have no overhead. So that's number 1. They go bankrupt. Number 2 is they betray us. Well, both these companies have already proven to us for multiple years that they're not going to do that. They're doing everything instead for the shareholders and the companies to keep fighting back. And that's the only way you lose these things. There is a third. The third is that Congress literally passes the laws and changes the rules and makes it impossible for a short squeeze to happen or something like that. But that's not going to happen because we have a very wary Congress of the SEC in the House, and the Senate's the opposite. And so they'll never pass anything because they're not working together. So, and there might be a 4th or 5th way that I don't see, but and from what I've found, those are the only 3 ways you lose in this, and that's not going to happen to us. So we have everything in our favor, in my opinion. Joe, Favre and Stafford in Detroit, both always played. Yeah, Stafford was awesome in Detroit. Jack, Ace, thank you for your time and energy. Gone early. Have a good night. Thank you, Jack, and thank you for your amazing birthday present. I took full advantage. Had a great birthday time there. So, but tomorrow's my real birthday, so I'm excited. Hopefully, it's much better than today was in the markets. Peyton Manning was great in his prime. I never was a huge fan until later, but call Fidelity, reset the account. Wow. Payments, yeah. Me being a huge Steelers fan, love you like Big Ben. Yep, I did. Refers to welfare king. Moose, what's going on, brother? Welcome. Kira, got your Sycamore small bath. It's seasonal nice IPA. I love it. I love Steve Young. Steve Young was great. He was so fun. Jim Kelly's offense was amazing. Jay, if we let everyone in the country, we would win every boring World Cup. That's how full get. That's one thing. I like that, Jay. Matthew, what's up, man? Getting on both GTI and Finger. We'll watch replay later. Why is Ham saying to cancel S3? He didn't mean actually cancel it. He was just using an example that they have no story. The shorts have no story if they can't talk up dilution, and the S3 being out there gives them the story that someday Finger's going to dilute. And that's what he was saying. Goodwill, they can try to scare longs and scoop up cheaper counterfeits for delivery. There you go. Northwest, what's my favorite college team? I don't have a favorite college team because I just never was into college football. And so I just kind of jump on a bandwagon every once in a while of a team I like. That's how I do college. But it was fun watching the Buffaloes play USC this week. And congrats to your Ducks. I do like the Ducks jerseys. Joe Mama, I hate to say I forgot about Jim Kelly. He was fun to watch. Kurt Warner Kurt Warner was unbelievable. His release was nuts. Flutie Flakes. Goodwill expected today. If I'm Univest, I'm letting them attack it. Maybe even selling some to shake some longs to do the same thing. You think Univest would want to shake longs? He tweeted it out today, Roger. Charlotte Buick, so much info, hard to keep up. Yeah. Eric, when this thing runs, will I eat a 5-pound wheel of cheese in one sitting? I don't know. I'll have to think about it. It would definitely be like pepper jack or like a smoky cheddar, maybe. Ham tweeted 100 times today. Can you narrow it down? You can search Ham and search S3. Jay Abrams, something new for you or a Sportsman fan. There you go. That would be funny. Dan, you're sorry to be repetitive, Ace. Everyone's on this chat. Tomorrow, call and talk to a Fidelity rep about your restricted shares. I do think that's a smart idea. I really do. Thomas, since Vanguard got kicked to the curb Amazon employs 401ks. Now Fidelity has 401s. I wonder how much they'll lose. Well, that's a good question. A lot, being what I'd say. AMC and mmtlp fears flash today. Are you saying that today was giving you PTSD flashes? Rudy, Adam Aaron screwed his shareholders. I don't believe Finger and GTI are as big as AMC. They're not even close. CEOs of Finger and GTI, they won't. Finger and GTI are completely on the side of the shareholders. They are, and there's no reason for them to cheat us. They know that both their companies are going to profit from a squeeze. That's the best way for their companies to go forward as well. So it's the best thing for everybody involved. And they've already shown that they all have resolve. So I'm not worried about them at all. Troy Aikman, Richard. Oh, man. I don't think Aikman was that great. He played on a monster team. Arguably, you could argue the 90s Cowboys were the most talented team of all time. There was no salary cap back then. They spent money, and they were loaded everywhere. Aikman wasn't bad, but he wasn't I don't think he's an all-time great. Go look at his statistics. He barely had to do anything. He barely broke 3,000 yards every year. They would give the ball to Emma and run behind the greatest offensive line of all time. And I think Aikman's overrated. Matthew, Ham's tweet was, I was saying they're using S3. Yeah, there you go. Vince, how about we hear some Bane doing like Oh, man. What I say? I don't even know where to start now. You got me laughing. I don't know if I got it in me tonight, Vince. My throat's going a little dry. I'll bring it back. Troy Aikman wasn't great. Yeah, I agree. Today was truly painful. But a fire rises. Look into buying logic. Colonel Kurtz, yep, Ace, I have 10 times more GTI over Finger. Yep. Sabre, not sweating price action today since the entire stock market. Like first 10 minutes of Sabre, right? It's like the first 40 minutes, actually. But yeah, it was rough today. JR, I think Wes is going to use an opinion in his case with GTI. I love that. That's great. All right, you guys, can I explain two things? How many times has Univest been in squeezes? Go watch Avid's video on that. I think it's 12 that he found. When they file an S3, how many days does it take for Univest to buy in? The only times we've seen them file an S3 that I know of that we could track was GDC, and they squeezed it the next day. Husker, it was fun watching Huskers and Niners 95. Not many could say both their teams won national title and Super Bowl. Wow. That's awesome. He was accurate. I'll give you that. He was very accurate. He was like a Drew Brees, but he didn't have to do much. He's the Dilfer of the Niners? No, he's better than Dilfer. That's just mean. Did my one friend have a great weekend? Yeah, he did. Packers were great in the 90s, although they only got one Super Bowl. And they only dominated the second half of the 90s. The first half of the 90s was all Cowboys-Niners. What's up, H-Town? Dilfer was the Dilfer of the 90s. I can't believe Dilfer has a Super Bowl. He just happened to get on the greatest defense of all time in the 2000 Ravens. Be ready for a new merger to form Kelsey and Swift empires. Oh, God. Kurt Warner's first NFL trial was canceled if he got bit by a bug on throwing. Are you serious? That's crazy. Saber, yeah. He really adopted the suck of the Baines William. Oh, man. It's going to become a thing now. Aikman was accurate. Aikman equals Flacco. I mean, I think he was better than Flacco, too. But it doesn't mean he was great. Watch some of the old championship games playoffs with all their holding of a Reggie White. Holding. Oh, yeah. Bill Young, Univest doesn't guarantee squeeze, but it's most likely. It doesn't guarantee anything, but it's highly, highly likely. Crossover move with Bane and Tyler Durden. Oh, my gosh. That's funny. Rudy, did I hear SEC lose the second battle? Yeah, I did hear that. H-Town, what do I think about CJ Stroud? He is balling. He looks great, dude. You guys got a winner. Paulie, what's up? Do I think shorts have more ammo for tomorrow? I don't know. I don't see them possibly doing what they did today twice, because I've just never seen an attack like this before, except for the one on GTI in January. So I just don't think they can do it that often. But yeah, I think if Univest does not plan on hitting the gas right now, then yeah, we could have a couple more red days, but I don't think it's going to be gory like today. Today, Ham said fingers working on quarterly earnings report and 2 week quiet. They can't raise funds. Well, Roger, that's he said that for, and I know because I've talked to him. He said that for the bashers, so that they could not say the dilution story that they were using as an excuse to short. That's why he said that. The quiet period, and I know I've researched this. I've looked it up with multiple of the guys on the. We were all doing a lot of research on this quiet period. There is nothing that says that they are prohibited from buying, from selling right now, or from Univest buying in right now. Nothing. The quiet period they've undertaken is to not dilute. Okay, that's what Ham was saying, but also to it means like no PR statements or anything that could affect any of their statements coming into the earnings. And it's not legally mandated quiet period. The only legally mandated quiet periods in the in Wall Street are leading up to IPOs. So I know I worked on this a lot today. Getting all the information for that. Best player turned announcer, Tony Romo. Romo's great at first. I feel like he's lost it a little bit. Abbott thinks they'll try to push us to 4 tomorrow. Yeah, I mean, maybe we'll see. Nobody called what would happen today. Goodwill, Poly V price will bounce back up and dip again. GTI dividend delivery is a live round. That's right. Yeah. Thanks, Vince. Busy's sharing the GoFundMe, guys, just in case you haven't gotten a chance to give to the movie if you wanted to give. So there's a link right there. If you guys watched that interview last night, it's important. $7 is very difficult to get past. Yeah, they don't want us to. Great video of me on the video cover. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, after hours, fingers shot up by 80 cents at one point. Jessica Simpson, Carrie Underwood, ruined Romo. Those blonde Texas girls. Anyways, guys, I'm going to head off. I'm at the hour and a half mark. I have a feeling that I'm going to be getting on more this week. So tomorrow's my birthday, so I probably won't be on unless it's short. But Thursday, Friday, you guys can expect me to be here. There's too much going on this week. So, but I'm going to head out. I'm going to go hang out with my wife, and you guys have a great night. Just know we're going to be fine. This was sucky, but it was desperation is really what it was. I mean, the attack they put together, when you look at all the details of it, it's just ridiculous and sad. Honestly, they did get us down, but other than that, I mean, the report was a joke, all that stuff they pulled out. So just an absolute joke, but you guys have a great night. Thank you guys for the birthday wishes. I appreciate that. Yeah, Busy was fiery today. 4-0 this weekend, and Final Fantasy, 2 of your team scored over 190 points. Dang, nice. Get in here. Oh man, you're still in the space call? I'll see, Busy. I'll see. I'm not promising anything. I can't believe we're still doing the space call. But all right, guys, have a great night. And you might, if you jump over the space call with Busy, which I know is a good one, I might be in there for a few minutes. So, but all right, guys, have a good night. We'll see you.